not to tell anyone, but color blue reached many other places of the world in the form of paint only about 500, 600 years ago, but Indians used it few century BC to few century early AD or CE. And that is the depth of Indian art and architecture and design forms, and design in everything, dry leaves, dipped leaves, painted leaves, mud, clay, houses, bricks, wherever you lay your eyes on, everything is creatively designed. And thus, this is a moment to celebrate all the ancient art and craft along with the contemporary traditions, because Indians have inherited that heritage, and that heritage for the present time also needs to be celebrated and given space. As J.S. Mugdaji mentioned in her statement, that this is Ministry of Culture's humble initiative to begin with, that when we talk about Biennales, what better place to unveil the logo than National Gallery of Modern Art. And I sometimes smile and very proudly tell people that this gallery houses art pieces worth 300, 400 years, which is modern art for us. That's how ancient we are. And this only goes to show that when we are talking about present times, and there are artists in all genres and forms, that art also needs to be conserved, protected, and given space for recognition, because modern artists too will become ancient. So it's about India should not get lost in future. And when we talk about our history, past, present, and future needs to be taken into account. And for preservation of our present, we need to work for our future, so that for future, all this today's art and craft will become past. And thus, while we recognize the past history, the contemporary artists need to be given similar space and recognition, so that the history of the future gets recognized. And this attempt is a step towards that future. And I see many of my friends from Latin American countries. Hello everyone, and European and Balkan nations. So the idea is basically, and all of them, I participated in their cultural events and the exhibitions they have brought. Now this will be a place and attempt to get all of them on board. At one time, they all can get their spaces and showcase their art forms. And yesterday only I unveiled one exhibition from Peru, and I was very, very surprised and happy, of course, to understand the culture which many of us may not understand, that while Indians worship bulls in the form of Nandi, in agroeconomy and many other forms, it's a sign of course, it's a Taurian sign, so all the people who belong to the sun sign of Taurus will celebrate it. But Pokhara bulls was something which was quite a moment for me, in the sense I did not know that bulls are worshipped in Latin America. And Peru is one country which does that, and Pokhara is the place where they excavated some of the symbols and they found that. So while many will relate it to the Spanish period and early or mid 20th century, but even before that you find paintings and art pieces in Pokhara, and thus the name Pokhara bulls. And I felt that if you keep lifting the veil repeatedly, one will always find we are far more connected than we know. The other exhibition which came from our Danish friends, and that was about textiles in India. And it left such a deep impression on me that while people talk about textile trade, how Europeans overtook, etc., but very few will recognize that the Danes actually found a box which had the samples which were 400, 500-year old in their collection. And then they tracked back that history in Coimbatore and several places in Tamil Nadu, where the same designs, same colors, and same combinations can still be found. And they got that printed. The curators dressed in those textiles and were presenting the entire design, that they recognized that all these designs were inspired from Indian designs. So very few will give that recognition, but I'm happy that our Danish friends did that. Cubans had something on metal engraving. So they used a steel plate, nickel plated, and then through the sand mining they worked on that. So I can just go back to every country because I can see these people right here. So these three things come to my mind, and I think Biennale will offer a space to all of our countries, all our friends, to showcase their art and craft and how culture connects, culture unites. And the more we know and understand each other, the better it gets. So no matter the conversations which we are around politics, but deep down we are all human beings. The heart and the head need to be in coherence